Now, one Sentinel, one Initiator sort of lineup we see there is something I personally don't think is something for the future. I personally don't believe that this very, well, duelist-heavy approach we're going to see right now will last forever.
I think the same, like especially with the changes to Breach and Sky, like those characters and KO coming in the future, right? I don't think there's any way that we're gonna see a double duelist meta in EU prevail, and we're gonna have more focus on just one duelist and an initiator, especially since Sky is just so nuts, so overall good, and is such a well-rounded character, right? It can be a support, it can be a very brutal attacker as well. She gives info. It's like insane, right? But I definitely understand why both teams have picked some duelists here, because we have 4 of them out of 10 right now. Autumn picked up the Phoenix because on Breeze, it's so easy to control the orb on A side. It's basically gifted for free for the attackers every round, right? So this is why when you build up the Phoenix ult, and you'll have it like maybe even 4 or 5 times and a half. This is not a joke. You can actually do that. So we'll see how that goes. But now let's just focus on the pistol round, where RixGG seems like bundled up towards B with 5 players here.
And here you have the wall. I mean, that's pretty much a side for free. No real issues. Mixed wall is even forced back slightly, as though the Sova dart is coming in. That is the heal for me. And now the retake's on. Well, it seems, Lothar, like we got ourselves a fast forward in round number 1. And so they are all just hiding behind that Viper wall. Once in a while, they'll definitely explode. Mixwell's gonna come in with the first, but Mickey Boy's not expected. Kellogg still got the right kind of antidote for that. This leads to one small retake that could work. Riggs have planted in a way that they can't just wait out for Latex. A bit of too much of his body being shown. The man's still on it, but no chance for Nuki. They're gonna go for the defuse. Nope, not even happening. I'm taking that one back. Avova tries his best, but there's not gonna be an opportunity, is there? Mans are swinging, finding nothing. Otom with the triple brings it home.
Well played by RixGG, and you can see where G2 struggled with this retake because they had no smokes, nothing to obscure the vision coming from the B main, right? This is where they struggled. They didn't have Mixwell to just kind of put a wall there, or maybe a Toxin Cloud to just have that opportunity. And also, like, I'm a bit surprised that Nuki went for a heal instead for a dismiss after he gets a kill on B main. Like, he was so badly needed to get another one, and he just went for a heal and just got stopped by getting one-tapped. I mean, not one-tap, but getting just tagged by Cypher from the window. But let's focus up on the next round. G2 has a wall set up on the A, but so does RixGG, and they go 5 people just attack. Well, 4. There's the Cypher and Tube, but they get to put this side by force.
Yeah, there. I'm very much looking forward if there's much more going to come out of G2 in this round, that they have lost already the most viable tool of their defense. Well, that's a nice shot from Calox, but there's not much more to connect with this. I mean, there shouldn't. Let's put it that way, because you don't want to...
He gets the tag.
Yeah, I see it, but, you know, it's still not reasonable. And obviously, Latex says the same. There you go.
Yeah, Latex coming in with the lurk late stages of the round is a crucial part, and he is one of those key pieces of this map for RixGG to be successful, because Breeze is such a big open map. Rotations are always awkward for the defenders, and this is where the lurk potential from the Cypher comes in, right? If he gathers info for the attackers where the rotations are coming from, it prepares the players for that retake, and also he was able to just get off some backstabs. This is why rotating from mid, rotating for spawn is gonna be so awkward for G2, and this is why they have to play defensively on sides. This is already his first run it back being used in round 3, but the Kellogg's destroys it, and now we'll be holding that.
Oh my goodness. That's Kellogg's for you. Nuki joins in, and well, it seems like the double duelist party just goes on as they hammer for the night. Latex no chance, but well, it's the start of something. Still, it doesn't change the matter of fact that, obviously, we are talking about proper weaponry coming in for the Rix side. All those rifles you need.
Proper weaponry coming from RixGG, and look, they used the first run it back on round 2, and Autumn is already 1 out of 6 on round 3. So he's getting an orb. If he dies or gets the kill, he's 3 out of 6. That's building up super fast. Like, every round, you're gonna see this Phoenix going towards that orb on A side.
Cutting their vision.
Nuki moving super fast. Lear trying to get control of that ult. Wow, they actually get a kill through the wall.
Absolutely. I mean, that's the way it is. And look at that aggression. I mean, this is exactly the way you want to see them with double duelist. I think we both agree here, though, for that. Individually speaking, G2 is a slight bit better than RixGG. And when you keep on pressuring on like that, when you push through those goddamn Viper walls, you don't care about a damn thing. About then?
I mean, I wasn't surprised by the push by G2. I was really surprised by the way RixGG tried to play against it, right? The Viper wall from Mixwell cut off Cave in half, right? They get the first kill through the wall, and then Frey pushes through the wall of Mixwell in a sick by the fact. So he's essentially not only minus 30 HP because of the wall, he's also getting double tagged with every single bullet. So he's essentially one hit. So I don't know. That felt a little bit awkward, and RixGG now falls out of favor when it comes to this attacking side, when this is an attacker-sided map. And G2 is feeling themselves. Look how they push. Already one player pushing through tube. He has no support, and he will meet the Viper pretty soon.
Again, no way. Kellogg's not whiffing this time around. At least Otom's on it. Double secured. Sheriff's in there. Again, it's a B site that belongs to them. And this is where I start to get worried here, Lothar, is if the entire game plan, which I don't believe, is based off pure attacks by G2, you know, re-establishing the borders, I don't believe that. This can't work out in the long run over on their defense, but we're gonna find out, right? This is the great part about this game. Finding out, puts that Nanoswarm behind seconds, gonna pop off, nothing found though. Obviously it's planted for nothing else in the window back there. And so Otom and Co. most likely will prevail. Latex still swings wide. I don't see it happening. I don't see it happening. It needs to be one hell of a miracle if they actually make it possible. Still not hitting the shots here, Kellogg's. He's definitely going to leave the site. At least, with a Vandal in hand.
What a good round by RixGG.
Really,
Honestly,
yeah.
on the back of the double kill from Autumn on mid, like that was insanely impactful. Not only he gets a double kill, he gets a weapon for himself. So the hold was pretty tough for G2, and it's a little bit awkward that they gained the space on A side, but they weren't prepared for a B push. Not certain what happened there, because they gathered so much info, right, on A. They knew that no one is tube, no one was essentially pushing out of cave. That prepares the team to be ready that there's a lot of presence on mid or either B main, and they still lost the doors, which always can happen. But Kellogg's now with the operator, he gets the first contact and he gets flashed.
Oh, there you go. Kellogg's with what a refrac. Otom's on it, and well, you gotta deny those annoying seekers. So Havova gotta back off once more, but they still capitalize on it. That's crazy. Otom, his ult has been denied right now. Mixwell knows about latex, but it's just about milliseconds and millimeters that he starts to fall short in this duel. Avova's still ready to keep on fighting. And as we see right here, Avova's on it. It's coming more and more, and Yuki is just waiting, and he's gonna continue to pull through. Oh, this could work for Rix, though. It's Mixwell whiffing, and this leads to a 5 HP Avova. No chance for him at all.
2 versus 1. Is a miracle happening here?
No.
Is there a miracle happening here?
No,
He picks up the operator and goes, nah, there's no miracle here. I'm just gonna... Oh, okay. I respect that.
One.
I respect the hustle here. And he saved the gun. That's worth a lot. Not gonna lie. This is almost 5k saved for Kellogg's right now. It was a great refrag by Autumn, by the way. Insanely timed, because Kellogg's did dash away and still got caught, right? So this shows you how big this map is, because typically on any other map, when you dash away, you're just behind cover. But here, there's so much open space that the dash not always will get you out to safety. One thing I wanted to point out in the composition from G2, that apart from the fact that I don't like the Reyna pick, but Mixwell is playing on Killjoy, and it feels like Cypher is just such a more versatile pick on this map because of the way that his utility works globally without having to be in range of his utility, which might be even more impactful when people start playing KO. So Right now, okay, doesn't matter what I'm saying because RixGG is already on site with 5 people there, and they want to just plant the spike. Mixer's waiting with that lockdown to counter it and just get them out of the range of the spike.
Looking like a disaster coming in the way of G2. It seems like that is the case.
3 versus 3, still out of time.
Yeah, still, nevertheless, I mean, it doesn't feel like that's going to work that easily with all the lineups they have. And this is the disgusting part about this map, right? You can't just play it so great from the cave. You simply have no chance. Avova tries.
What a kill of Avova!
It's just disgusting in those retake scenarios, really.
That was, I guess it was actually well played by G2 that it came down to 1v1. It was a roller coaster of emotions right now, and I'm not surprised that they went for a tactical timeout because definitely something doesn't work well for G2 right now on this defense, right? The thing is, this map, remember, this map is attack is based, so it's not really that big of a problem when you're losing on the defense, but it might be a little bit problematic if you're not gonna get like 4 rounds, because even though you have a double duelist setup, the killjoy is not as good as a lurker as the Cypher because it doesn't allow you to be, you know, so free when it comes to your movement. And they don't have so much utility, ultimate usage coming from orbs control when it comes to the competition, right? The RixGG just uses the Phoenix and the Sky to its full extent when it comes to gathering orbs, while G2, what they're gonna do? Fuel the Hunter's Fury with 8 orbs? Not really. Fuel Sky with 7 orbs also doesn't feel great anymore, right? Then Sky, then the ultimate from Reyna, which is the only 6 charger, is not really something that you want to sacrifice orbs for. So the attack from G2 is not gonna feel as fluid as it feels for RixGG. So I'm really curious because this might actually look like a good map for Rix. It's their pick, of course, right? But it really looks good for now. And look, they're gathering the orb from A. They get these Seekers out. Most likely in a moment when they want to, they are faking it out for now. They're going for the wall. They get Mixwell out. They get the info. Mixwell gonna use some utility. And that fakes out a lot of executes now on B. Kellogg's get some informations now, but now they know. Now they know, and this is where G2 starts the rotation towards B.
Absolutely. And it's a disaster that might just come the way of G2 once more. Oh, is the ult gonna hold it up? Oh, no way. Still in time that he dodges that. And there's nothing working according to plan. Taking that back, actually. Taking it really back is Koldamenta. Is the one striking, but as I say that, all his teammates, all his Acrotites falling left, right, and center. If there's a man you want to clutch,
Spike planted.
it's Nuki. Obviously, the best man in such a clutch, but it would be one hell of a story if he turns that one around. And I genuinely got my doubts. This is going to work that easily for him. Does he swing in the right time? No way this is going to work that easily. He's even getting insta-dinked. Ouch.
Yeah, that was tough. I mean, those were the round where G2 was playing on the lower buy, but still a tough round to lose because they did commit with the Hunter's Fury in this round. And Kellogg's also had his ult, right? So it's a little bit awkward. Avova with his Viper Pit. This is why we see the heavy stack towards A. Avova will just gonna use his Viper Pit to funnel the opposing team towards mid and A instead of like fight, like even having an intent in fighting it. He's just gonna go for the Viper's Pit. He's gonna use his Snakebite to just put away any pushes, and now they know that the Viper's Pit is not gonna do much because there's already RixGG executing on A.
There you go. That's exactly what you're looking for. That's exactly what you are looking for.
Got spike.
As you see right there, Mickey's trying his best, but all the mid control is something they feel slightly hindered in, at least right this second. As you notice, though, that G2 is back on it. Spike delivered on a silver platter. Koldamenta getting absolutely hammered through that goddamn box. Well, you know, plywood is not a great piece of cover, but doesn't change the matter of fact that Kellogg's is still on it. Info, though.
Get out of my way.
looking not that bad for RixGG actually now. They turned the chances towards them. Avova is gonna now have to clutch it. 1v3 and he gets 2!
Spike down B. 30 seconds left.
That was worth in gold.
Yeah, you say it, that Lothar. Take a look at it. Latax being the only man left alive in this fight. And let's say he has chosen some of the worst opponents to fight against. And worst, I don't mean that those are the worst. No, the worst to fight against. Okay, easily beheading him. And the third round found. High cost, of course, here. Over on the side of G2. But at the end of the day, they still race them away. And that brings them at least closer to the opportunity of a tied-up half. Because you mentioned it. When they can go to the attacker side, when they can set the pace, this combination of agents might be more what you're looking for.
Mm-hmm. Oh, it was still shaky for G2. Like Avova, if he only would have killed one, this would still be a very problematic retake for G2 because it would have been a 2-2, 2 versus 2. And in this case, Avova getting the double kill was just instrumental for the retake success. And this is something that is a theme in general. Whenever you're defending, ideally, you want to just kill one player and just fall back so you still have the advantage, or at least kill two, even if you die. Then it's a win for defenders. But if you go 1-for-1, this is not a good trade for the defenders at all. It doesn't matter which map you're playing.
Right. I'm fully with you on that one, but this is one thing also that I think is so crucial about this more sentinel / initiators heavy setup. You can leave halls basically to utility, and you don't need to take risks. No, don't do it. Oh, no way, Lothar is doing that. Goodness gracious, Lothar. Jesus Christ, stop doing that. The man is so good in 9 out of 10 games. Lothar is an absolute beast as a jet, but today is just not his day.
Oh my, that was really...
I don't need those heart attacks, Lothar.
I mean, we have seen from Scream a dash forward like this already, and it wasn't as successful as well. Noki gets a headshot, gets a dismiss to safety, but he is pincered a little bit. At least he thinks so.
Right. Still, he plays just off the angle of the pyramid. Obviously, slight bit of his head, but not too much seen at that point. And it's 30 seconds. You see, they don't have much map control, besides not having the spike, actually. Just making it worse. Obviously, Nuki's accuracy is once more on point. But Fry's patience pays off perfectly. Man could clutch it all on his own, but too many foes are just waiting around the corner. He's giving his best, he's trying his best, but the wall's coming up. No vision, no opportunities. It should be number 4 at this point in time. It very much is. Oh, man.
Well, it's getting a little bit uncomfortable now for RixGG. This is the planned minimum for G2. 4 rounds on defense. Like, this is the absolute minimum that I think G2 just set up for themselves, and this is why we see the tactical timeout coming from RixGG for sure, right? It is attackers timeout active. So, yeah, this is the moment when they need to re-aggress. What do we do? How do we change our approach to the game? Because we definitely need more rounds, and it seems like G2 cracked our code. G2 is playing a little bit more aggressive on A, right? They gather more info and they leave mid actually just a bit open.
There's still so many scenarios where I just very much hope that Lothar is absolutely calm afterwards. That fight just right there, in 9 out of 10 cases, he would have had a free operator. 4,700 credits, basically delivered him with fast chipping. And then he whiffs like that. And I'm not even mad at him. It's not like that. I'm more even sorry for this because he is aware that in so many scenarios he's usually finding that. And this is where I hope that Rix can just mentally reset from such losses. It doesn't matter who it is, but it can just mentally reset and say, it is what it is. That happened. This doesn't mean that we're out of this. No need for tears.
Mm-hmm. True, for sure. And remember, they're losing 0-1. G2 is currently having an advantage over RixGG, and they even if they lose the map pick from RixGG, they still fall back to the third map to have a chance to close it out. But this is not over yet. Nope. 4-6. First half of Breeze. I love playing Breeze, by the way. It's sorry,
really
watching Breeze. I mean, playing as well. I love the map, and I love Icebox as well. So I'm a weird guy. So
yeah, you are. Go on.
But the thing is, this map is so open and opens up the teams like to interpretation and improvisation when it comes to utility use.
Yeah,
It's a beauty to watch.
It is always something. The maps in Valorant are all very different. You have to get used to some, but at the end of the day, it's always a lot of creativity and also efficiency that has to be used to get really hang of those maps. And at this point in time, talking about efficiency, look how swift they rotate. They're all moving over to the side of B. And Nuki obviously is once more the tool that holds them up, swaps sides. Lothar just around the corner, does not hit the shot. Nothing's connecting for Rix ever since we saw that timeout come in. It's absolute sadness and it's a disaster. Really, it is a disaster. They are absolutely in the spot of bother. And previously on the Ascent match, I didn't want to have this defeatist opinion, this defeatist approach, saying it's just looking sinister. But again, we're only 3 rounds in a row, but it's in the fashion they lose it.
Yeah, it is definitely a problem. And now they still have the buy, right? That's a saving grace. For the last round, they still have an option to win this with the full kit of utility and equipment. They have those 5 rifles. And by the way, okay, you know what? I'm going to talk a little bit later about what I wanted to say next when it comes to weapons. But let's just focus because it seems like a fast executing beat. Something they had success before.
Yep, that was pretty much the first round. That's back to basics. At least this is what it feels like. And as they start to move and stroll over to the side, more rather push it, seems like Nuki might just play around the pillar at the right exactly timing. Oh, this is so awkward. Still, they get a lot of information. Nuki again with the timing. The man definitely needs to buy himself a watch for Christmas. But at the end of the day, it's his teammates. He can pretty much clean and sweep the site. Only 2 will remain. Insult to injury. Lothar, the last man standing. I just want to see a wonderful clutch by this man because he's capable of doing that. It's just unlucky so far talking about it. Absolute clinical performance of getting the head off here of Kellogg's. But 3 more to go. You don't want to go out of this with the consolation prize. You don't want that wooden spoon. It's just his time to finally pull those strings. But they obviously remain patient. It's spike that has been delivered on a silver platter. Evolve again just delay this being picked.
30 seconds left.
And he's like, what am I even supposed to do at this point? What can I do? Lothar fights and tries to fake it out, knows about the annoying turret, but he just loses HP bit by bit. More to come. Evolve around the corner, 8 HP. What a poor man. I mean,
there's just no way G2 loses this unless they want to, because it basically comes down, do we make a mistake? Do we peek 1 by 1 and give Lothar some kills, some easy kills that he can just feed into like his dash as well, so he has a chance then to win again a 1v1? And here, discipline coming from G2 wins them the round. And by the way, Kellogg's had an insane flank coming from elbow onto B main, and that basically entrapped RixGG within like the entrance. They lost the spike because of that as well. So combination of Nuki's lucky and unlucky timings and Kellogg's flank basically made them lose that execute. But all right, now G2 on the attack, fast A push. Will that be the pretty standard of that almost everyone does?
well, that's a different story, my dear Lothar. At the moment, it looks like Rix are just absolutely getting beheaded. It's unfortunate to watch. Still they try to buffet this. It's not looking good. And Latex Insular to his teammate could try to slam this one out, but just him being pulverized in the meantime. It's laser-like accuracy. I'm 100% sure it's not fun to play against Nuki. It can never be fun to play against him.
Yeah, this guy is super consistent. It's kind of like a... he kind of reminds me of Zippan as well. Like when it comes to the consistency he presents, you know? Like this guy, I cannot remember any games where, well, at least in the recent future, maybe apart from the game against FPX right now that they played, because we didn't watch that. But Nuki always delivers. Like it might be not dropping 30 bombs every game, but he is very consistent. So it's a valuable player to have at your disposal, because consistency wins you long term. Like being flashy and explosive doesn't really win you games long term, because you can win some and lose some, and essentially you're not delivering, right? But when you're consistent, this is what the teams are looking for.
No, I'm with you. I'm damn with you. And The thing is, for me at that point, it's this is where I say it's fine to play Reyna. Because if you are consistently on that level, that's the only thing. Because I have the same opinion on Reyna. I really think this agent is one of the worst in the hands of most players. But now it's just about what's the best in the weaponry of Mixwell and Co. Well, obviously, default rifles and submachine guns you buy in such rounds. And to finish off my point quickly, Lothar, because I think we're on the same page. With Reyna, it's like that. You are basically the most egoistical, self-centered person you can be. And there are like just a handful of players that can actually afford to be like that. And that's definitely Nuki. Nuki's one of them.
Although, you know, remember that Reyna got a little bit changed. She got buffed with the assist change. She has less orbs because of that. She can have less dismisses and, you know, devours. But the fact is, she's now the best secondary entry for a team if you can feed off dealing any kind of damage, right?
I see what
you
you
do
mean.
even 1 point of damage within 2 seconds, someone dies, and you get that orb off. You can heal. You can not dismiss. But in this case, Mickey pays the price. Volvo wins that duel, and it's still very awkward. But now, 3
So
versus
good
4.
movement. Oh my goodness, that was solid. Fry was actually coming in when needed. That round ended way too fast here. It's suddenly a flying Kellogg's coming in, a Fry swapping out and moving away from the smoke. Ta-da! Finds a double, makes it a triple. Easy stuff. And Rix, finally, that was this little bit of clearance that might just make it work for them.
Yeah, this was heavily needed, even though they lost 2 players, so it did cost them some utility and some weapons, and this is why they play with Bulldog right now and 3 small shields. But this is something they badly needed. Not losing like 4 players and winning a round, because that would have been a disaster as well, but now there's a chance for them to actually snowball if they manage to win the next round, but it opens up with Nuki getting a kill on Autumn.
Yep, and there you go. It's just getting wilder and wilder at that point. RixGG already losing 2 in the process of just in a matter of a few seconds. And that's a way to pretty much get yourself the A site. Locked it down,
Spike planted.
no access, and it's once more also that thought process. Do you actually want to do it? Do you want to consider it with the weaponry you have? Kellogg's just starts to one-tap. Oh, Lothar, it's really unfortunate for Rix. It's still not done, don't get me wrong. But from bad to worse in some scenarios, and this team has already been hit quite hard today. You know, G2 the same, but Rix was fighting real good on the first map over when they were against Ascent. Also against G2 on Binds. Decent stuff, but now...
Yeah, the thing is, I feel like Rix is in a spot where they either make a call to make really risky plays, or it's just not enough patience. Because if you were paying attention, Autumn was killed out in the open on mid, where he had absolutely no cover. Like, even if he gets 1 kill, he gets traded. So it's never a good outcome for the defenders. Like, he had no support, he had no cover to go back to, and he's playing a Phoenix, so he has no dash, so he has no escape mechanism. So it's like actually trying to actively like lose advantage on this map, because it's such an open map, right? It's very similar to Haven and Icebox, where losing a defender just gives away too much map control. Okay, but it's again,
talking about it.
Again.
There you go. And it's still an opportunity for Rix, because, well, you find the shots the way Fry does. Brilliant stuff coming out of them. But Mickey, it's very expensive for the side of G2.
Yeah, they have to be happy with this. They have to be happy with the outcome of this round, but in the end, how much does it matter, right? G2, if they lose this round, they still have enough cash to full buy next round. So even though RixGG got some kills here and there, the most important outcome for them, because of those kills, they fuel up some ult economy, right? This is where Mickey is 3 out of 6. This is where Luz is 5 out of 7. So this is the help that they needed from those kills, because it definitely didn't like damage the economy from G2 yet, unless they lose 2 in a row.
True. Well, that's the thing. How high is the confidence here on G2? Considering the ultimates they have, by the way, it's an absolute disaster that just might come in once more for Riggs. Lockdown immediately destroyed, though. Was it just a white swing that came in? I'm not quite certain. Nevertheless, it's one ult just gone. G2 only down to 4, and they're coming over though on the A side with ease.
There's the Viper spin. Oh, that's gonna be such a problem for RixGG to just push them out of it. They have no Killjoy, right? Ultimate, which is the best answer to a Viper's Pit. But they do have Autumn with that running back. The problem is, he needs to get really close to this ult to have full effect on it. So he has to like, be behind those boxes there on the backside. Will G2 allow that? I don't think so.
Nah,
There's a recon arrow.
Yeah, and I don't feel that either. I mean, Otom's trying his best, but immediately eliminated. It's still going on. The G2 show doesn't stop. The circus will never stop. And as Mixwell takes the flank, again and again, the brutality of G2, never to be underestimated. On the 11th they are. And the shaky start seems to now get them back in the position where they want to be.
This is looking really rough for RixGG right now. Look at the cash. They cannot afford like too much. They can buy some sheriffs, maybe some marshals, because Breeze with marshals is actually, I would say that it has a potential to make a convert it into a round win. So
wide
this is why I'm
range.
surprised a little bit, right? Yeah, there's so much open space. There's no damage fall off for the marshal, right? So if you had a headshot, it's lethal, and this is where sheriff just kind of falls apart, right? Because it doesn't have really good first bullet accuracy and it only deals 145. By the way, if someone is tucked in the corner there, you cannot spam it through that box. Just for the viewers that might not know that.
Yep. Well, good old Mythbuster Lothar. Probably if we get you a proper mustache, you can get yourself a show there. But getting away from that real quick, there you have it. The Marshal in the hands of Fry doing its work, and I know he's up there on bridge. He's absolutely getting pushed at that point. Big pressure's on him, and it's somewhat risky that he's getting that far away from the side. As I say, though,
Yeah, he's being
Nuki's
pushed in
even
the
stealing
hands
it.
of Nuki, you know. It's I don't know if it's planned or not, if it's just synergy being played from knowing what your teammate is doing, right? But the way that Kellogg's pushed into spawn made Frey just so uncomfortable that he couldn't stand on bridge. He couldn't stand in the same spot in holes because he would be pushed from spawn. So he went straight into the crosses from Nuki. And if that's being played because they know how to play off each other when it comes to Nuki and Kellogg's, hats off. This is like pure synergy that you're looking for when you play on pro level. Like, this is really cool.
Yeah, I'm fully with you. That's the thing, right? They haven't played for too long together. A week of prac, if I understood correctly. It's not a long time, but that synergy, that energy that they show, also if you watch the videos with the voice communication, it's insane. And talking about insane, shots like that, obviously they come from Nuki. Now they just get greedy. Now they just get a little too witty. And this is brilliant stuff. Sees a bit of defeat, latex, knees broken, and also falling down on the ground. It's not going to be working, really. I don't see it happening. There must be a one-of-a-kind play, and as I say it just gets worse. Now it's even colder Menta coming in with his ult at that point in time, and as Mickey tries his best, pushes through, is at least blinding Kellogg's, but the turret is even getting him. The worst kind of humiliation, and Lothar now can show us what he can do in combination with Autumn. The time's definitely playing against them, and there's more to come. The opponents are just waiting and having all the right angles. It's just an absolute disaster. A death trap over on the site, and this gives them the number 13. G2 eliminate Rix over here in Stage 3, Challengers 1.
Well, what can you say? G2... I mean, you have to say G2 was just better in this map. That's for sure. They had better synergy. They were winning duels. The consistency was there. RixGG, this was their moment to shine, right? To make a splash when it comes to the name. They still made it to this stage of the tournament, which is commendable, but unfortunately they don't have to try out their chances in the next part of the challenges in what, 2-3 weeks? 2 weeks, I think, if I'm not mistaken.
And on the 20th starts. Pretty sure about that, because Riggs had a decent run, and you know they started with a boot camp a few weeks ago. I think roughly a week ago. I'm not quite sure if they're still there. It obviously gave them a boost. It seems like it really helped them build a better synergy, helped them to once more start knowing each other better, and that was a massive improvement.
For sure.
Yet again, it just wasn't enough, Lothar. And this is also the thing about Breeze here. We talked about double duelists being a risk, but it turned out to be a reward because we saw both Kellogg's as well as Nuki showing up individually, opening up the sides, clearing and creating room, and ending with 300 plus ACS. This is exactly what you need from those agents.
The question is, how will this work against teams that are representing a higher level of breeze play, right?
Right.
When teams will gonna play the Viper Sky combo with Cypher, and they will actually use it to full extent. I'm looking here at Liquid. I'm looking here at Fnatic. Right, those are the teams that do prepare well when it comes to utility. So we'll see. G2 now still alive in the tournament. This was the lower bracket match, and we're getting more and more information about the teams on the newest patch. So I'm very excited to see what tomorrow will bring.
Exactly. I mean, tomorrow is going to be once more an exciting day full of exceptional matches, which you most definitely shouldn't miss. And this means you better follow the social media of the guys of Valorant Esports EU, both over there on Twitter and Instagram. You're just going to be up to date anyway. On my side was nobody else than Lothar. My name is Zescht. It was a pleasure casting for you, but we're out for today. So see you guys tomorrow.